Hey. Yo, how you going? It's Lady Chan, none less straight from, and welcome to Come Box with Shan. Fucking hell, this is sorry, guys. Sorry. I had to try and put myself together, and technical issues. It's life, but hey, I gotta introduce some amazing guests who I am gassed about having. So, right, let's without further ado. We have Trill Dollar Bill from the Boxing Bros USA. If anybody doesn't know about the Boxing Bros, I had Caden on here maybe when we did the end of year wrap up. And yeah, Trill Dollar is 1/4 of the bros on Boxing Bros. Thanks for joining me, Trill. Massively appreciated.
Nah, thank you for having me, man. Much respect, man. And shout out to my bros, man. Shout out to Caden, Conspiracy G, and Ned TVE, my brothers. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, without them, there's no me. It's the team.
Yeah, man. Pick up Conspiracy, Caden.
Yep. Yeah. Caden, my heart. Shout out to Caden, my heart, man. That's my heart right there. Shout out to G. That's my guy. And shout out to Ned the TVE. That's my guys. Like I said, there's no me without them. You dig what I'm saying? It's the Boxing Bros. You know what I'm saying? We move as a unit. You know what I mean?
All day. And it's a pleasure to have you.
And thank you for having me, though. You know what I'm saying? Much respect.
No, most welcome. And we have Fight Fair Figures. No good fucking.
Evening, people. We good?
You're right, Lee.
I'm good. You?
Thanks for joining the I&I. Yeah, man. I'm good, man. You know the dealio with Shan. It's always a drama in the life of Shan. We got one here coming through like the motherfucking. Oh, hang on. Yes, we are live, Mister. We've did the intros. Looks lovely lit. Welcome, Dean, to the Whyte. Dab on them. You right, Dean?
What's happening?
They are same way.
What's going on?
They are same way. You know how it goes. On the golly side. You get me? On the golly side. Makes people jump thinking. Right. So, we're going to touch on some key boxing current events. I just think we should just dive right in, boy. There's no point of like trying to do just a nicey thing, like try and mold in. Like there's some madness going on at the minute, and obviously we're going to touch on it. And it's Tunde Ajayi, obviously, and Spencer Fearon on their podcast, The Fight Is Right. They interviewed Mark Breland, and it just sparked a big wave of madness. I would like to big them up for getting an interview. You know, that's team right there as well. Do you know what I mean? So it was crazy when I was told that Mark Breland was coming on the show. I literally spazzed out like some fangirl, like I don't know, wild, but hey. So yeah, as we know, Mark Breland. Let me just quickly give you a synopsis. So Mark Breland came on their show, but he done it through the guys with his lawyer under the guise that basically he wasn't going to be allowed to talk about Deontay Wilder. That's really not going to work. But Tunde didn't know, and Spencer did. So Spencer didn't tell Tunde. So Tunde asked them ones, you know them ones. So Tunde asked the questions that we all wanted to hear the answers to. And he looked at first a bit uncomfortable, but then he just thought, fuck it. I'm just like, I need to defend myself. And yeah, all right, let's start with Dean. What do you think about that whole scenario? Because I just want to hear what you guys got to say. You know me, chime in and out, mainly in.
I guess there's all the accusations that's been hit at him for a while now, because that fight was a little while ago. That fight was, when was it? About a year ago, isn't it? Coming up a year. Yeah, I was out there, I remember. So obviously he's had a lot of mud thrown at him, you know what I mean? In the end, you know, they say pressure bust pipe. When all that pressure starts getting to you and people, they throwing stuff and you're not saying anything back, I feel like he just wanted to, you know, give his side of an account of some sort. I don't know. But
why do you
I'm
think
not sure because...
Why do you think that his solicitor said, oh, we don't want any Deontay Wilder questions asked, but then do you think he was really wanted to talk about it?
Obviously, look, if he hasn't said anything for this duration, clearly he didn't want to talk about it. And obviously, you know, when you got these men who's got big money, these fighters who's got big money anyway, you don't want to start. In America, they don't mess about with slander neither. So when you're making allegations, they got sheets, them big boys there, and they'll probably end up suing the pants off you. The little money he made with Wilder might tie him up in litigation and keep him in court. Over here, it's a bit different. There are people that probably do take people to court, but it's not so often. But the whole thing's a bit of a big old sour mess. Being honest, the man potentially saved his life. He was taking a little beating in there, and he threw in the towel. And like I've said all the time, that man in that corner was the only one who understands boxing truly, not just to say because he was a fighter, but he actually was a world champion and he was a gold medal Olympian winner. So he was the only one with real common sense to understand what text licking his mouth that could say, hey, what? You lot, I've watched it, learned it, rare, but I've been in there. I know how it feels and what it's going through. So you know what? I'm going to make a call. So I feel like he done him a good turn. Those guys clearly didn't agree, but how it was working anyway behind the scenes, some of the stuff he was saying that, you know, depending on what kind of day it was, you couldn't talk to Wilder. You'd have to go through my man. He would say, if you don't want to lose your job, you got to be careful what you say. Mm-hmm. I'm not interested. All that yes man thing is not good, but it does happen in camps a lot.
That's
I mean, so happen, yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. So, but then he kind of anyway. But I'll touch back on then what his reply was and stuff. It's crazy. He obviously did the best thing that he thought he was doing for his fighter, but hey, some people are just mad ungrateful. Trill Dollar Bills. What are you saying, man? Because it's crazy.
It's sad. It's not crazy. It's sad. You know what I'm saying? I'm with you all the way, Dean. I was sitting here. I was like, yeah, this brother gets it. You dig? Like I said, I stated it on my show.
Yeah, I saw it.
There's only so much, you know what I'm saying, that Mark could take. You know, like you basically just try to discredit this man. You threw salt on his name. You brought the smoke. And this man was just sitting back chilling. You done said he spiked your water. He was a snake. You know what I'm saying? All crazy stuff. You know what I mean? You jumped out the window on him. You know what I'm saying, brother?
Yeah, right.
You jumped out the window on him. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? This man that was been with you from the trenches. You know what I'm saying? I felt like Deontay Wilder was corny for that. You know what I'm saying? And he should expect. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You should respect. You should expect something. He need to take that
on his shield.
That's for real. He need to take that on. He need to take that on the chin. Whatever Mark said, he need to take that on the chin. You know what I'm saying? You went out there and you just tried to kill this whole man's legacy. And like Dean was saying, this is the only man in your corner, in your team, that knows what he's doing. That's been there before.
Right. Exactly.
And you want to trap on this guy? Nah, man. Deontay Wilder's all the way corny, and I think that he got what he deserved. And it was about time that Mark said something. And I don't even think Mark wanted to say something because Mark was too real. Some guys are just too real. You know?
Nice. It's too nice.
Yeah, he didn't want to get caught up in the whole drama with this dude. This dude over here twerking and everything. He didn't want to get caught up in that drama. You know what I'm saying? We built different. We built different. We ain't oiled up over here twerking.
Bruv, when we saw that, we thought that was mad because mandem over here don't do no males over here.
We don't do that over here either.
No straight males over here.
We don't do that over here either. And Mark was distancing himself, and these guys was throwing salt on his name, and he didn't want back talk nobody. But there's only so much a man can take, you know. Like you said, pressure bust pipes. You know what I'm saying? You kept getting at this man, and there's only so much he could take. He just exploded, and he just told the truth. I'm not mad at him at all.
Same, man. Fight fan figures.
For real.
Yeah, pretty much agree. I think that he was probably under advisement not to say anything, but
I wonder why though. Sorry, grabbing my pen. Go on, sorry.
Yeah, he's probably under advisement not to say anything, but he just couldn't help it when he was asked a question. he just started and never really
What
stopped.
did you think of that? What did you think of it though? Like of what he said?
It sounds like it's been a long time they've been working together. And you know, sometimes like siblings or something, you get your little grievances and you start having little issues with each other, and it sounds like that is like bubbled out because you never really know. That just shows me you never know what's going on in the camp, because the relationship he described that they had is not what I thought it would have been. And it sounds like, yeah, he just said that distance has come between them, and he's been listening to what Deontay Wilder had to say, what everyone had to say about him from that, and he just decided to let it all out, and he didn't hold back when he was ready, and like fair play to him.
Bruv, I've been talking about Deontay Wilder from morning. I just think you lot know what I think. We did a show turned into him and about him about 3 weeks ago, and this guy that I'm on different panels with, I didn't know he was like LDBC, so he came through on my like. Remember Lee? Fight Fine, you was on there. Remember Get Smoke? Get Smoke. Yeah. He's probably here watching. And it went wild. It went wild. It went wild. It went wild. He was big up Karma Serene. He was basically over talking, battling. Dean, you need to see it. It's wild. This guy came in like, and he was just fully Deontay Wilder. And anything that we said about him, like Leon's got impartial kind of, I get. We always need different people on panels. You don't need everyone to agree, but you know, it was just kind of wild to see that someone.
They're delusional. These guys are delusional. It's okay to, you know what I'm saying, to root for your guy, but when you start being delusional, man, you turn into a fanboy. And there's nothing worse than that, because then you throw all common sense out the window, and we already know common sense isn't common. No. The thing about Deontay Wilder, he got to understand this one truth. And this whole thing, I'm going to sum it up like this so he doesn't have this problem ever again. Deontay Wilder, you show love, you get hugs. You show hate, you catch slugs. It's that simple. It's that simple.
Wait.
You know what I'm saying? It's that simple.
Bars. Yeah, that might have to take that one off you, Trill. I just think that, in my opinion, that Deontay Wilder is a totally despicable human being. Like, I just think that he is the epitome of a loser, the epitome of a hypocrite, the epitome of everything that we don't need in the sport of boxing. I find his mantra divisive amongst black people, even though he says he's pro-black. I find him someone that wants to create divisions. I find him very wrong for boxing as a whole. And I find that his fans that follow him, there's fans and there's fanatics. And fanatics, in my opinion, are just deluded and wild. And I feel that he has one of the most deluded, off-key fan bases in the history of boxing. And they are not fans of the sport. They are fans of that man.
Yeah,
and that's just the bottom line. I don't know how we're going to, like, get him out, because I just have no tolerance for it. Like, honestly, I just think he's just a despicable. And people are like, can you not separate the boxer from the boxer from, you know, his personality? It's hard to do so. I think it's hard to do so. I can recognize the accolades or the achievements, or in his case, some of the non-achievements. But I can recognize his achievements as a boxer. I can give him kudos to what he's achieved as a boxer. But at the end of the day, boxing and this sport, where it's derived from, it's about also cementing legacies. And, you know, I just think what he's done, I don't care. You could have been a gold Olympian. You could have been, you're not that, one of those guys said he's going in the Hall of Fame. I hope not. And if you are going in the fucking Hall of Fame, mate, it's because you're the most fucking stupidest idiot that entered boxing. Why? I'll be happy. I'll be there. Like, hey, if you're going to go into the Hall of Fame for that. But in one foul swoop, I just feel that his whole legacy is destroyed. He attached his name to two British fighters, Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua, because before attaching his name to them, we didn't know Deontay Wilder. Let's have it right. And he drug Anthony Joshua's name through the mud. And when Anthony Joshua lost against Ruiz too, he was the first person on his fucking Instagram and laughing, going like, "You got knocked out, whatever." When he got knocked the fuck out, or fucking the fight stopped, we didn't hear from this stupid idiot for what, 9 months, 10 months. Then he comes on the fucking. This is what we're gonna go into. That he, I don't know if you guys saw him, what he said on 78 Sports TV. That he keeps himself to himself. He's not a man of social media. What the fuck do you mean you're not a man of social media? You're always, prior to your loss, you was always on social media. When Anthony Joshua lost, you was on social media a minute after the fight. So what do you mean you're not on social media? Someone chime in. I'm getting hot. Someone chime in.
With all that being said, I've heard everything you said, but I still enjoy watching him fight, and I'd still like to see him. I think there's still good fights out there for him. So I personally don't hope he disappears.
I think with Wilder, I personally, I don't want to see him disappear either. But the thing is, he left a real sour taste in my mouth. And I think with the excuses, with this sport that I love, you try to make this into a circus. You know what I'm saying? With all these excuses, these wild accusations. You know what I'm saying? You going out here throwing people under the bus. You even threw Kenny Bayless under the bus. You going crazy. You know what I'm saying? You going crazy like Trump after he lost the election. Go, I didn't lose. They cheated me. They cheated. Nah, brother. You got beat.
You out, baby. Yeah.
You didn't take your lumps like a man. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what it is. You know, we like our fight. You know, all fighters are not going to be like Floyd, you know, and go out 50 and up.
Yeah.
You know? There's a lot of greats. Most of the greats got a loss on their record.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Nobody looks at that. It's what you do when you come back. It's what you do when you come back.
Yeah.
All the excuses. That's what you wasn't supposed to do, my brother. You wasn't supposed to make all those excuses because it made you look a certain way.
Corny.
People can't rock with it.
Yeah.
You know, they couldn't rock with it. You're supposed to say, you got that, I get you back. Like what the homie AJ did. That's when I became a huge fan of AJ. Okay. He didn't make no excuses.
None.
Even though he could have made some excuses.
Yeah.
He talked about, I got over here too late, blah, blah, blah. He could have made a ton of excuses. But he didn't. He said, nah, the better man when he got that is whatever.
Yeah.
He went back.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying.
He had a dent in his head. He had an autopsy. This is great. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what's going to be next. But all you got to do is, I hope he's taking this time to go back in the gym and learn some fundamentals and learn how to box. You know what I'm saying? And stop worrying about this big right hand. Go back in the gym and learn how to box. His most impressive victory to me was when he first won the belt against the Vern. I started it, even though he went 12 rounds and didn't knock him out, he was moving around, he was using the jab. He needs to get back to that.
Yeah.
They were feeding him tuna cans. And he started to believe the hype.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He started to believe in the hype that he didn't have to be good. All he needed to be good was for 2 seconds. That's what he said.
Yeah, that's what he said. Yeah.
All he needed was the right hand. And that's where he went wrong. You know what I'm saying? Get back in the camp. Hopefully he's taking his time. Get back to the bases. Get back to camp. You know what I'm saying? Learn the fundamentals. Forget that right hand and see what happens. You know what I'm saying? That's it. That's what you could do. Stop with the excuses. Because you're hurting yourself and you're making our sport look corny.
Yeah, I know.
You guys laughing at us right now. You know what I'm saying? Got them guys laughing.
Do you think so he's turned down the Charles Martin fight. Would you be like, there are, like Fight Man said, like there's so many good fights for him out there, but I don't really care now anymore. Like I don't care like if he comes back or not anymore. Like if he does, cool, I'll watch the fights but I just in the grand scheme of things, if he doesn't, I'm not gonna miss him. And once he says that he's not coming back, or if we don't hear nothing that he's doing a fight at all this year, I promise you, because I said this the other day and I said it to when Caden was on the show, I'm really going to stop speaking about him. And there's some mad breaking news like tied to him. I think everybody needs to start ignoring him because he's actually getting more. He's more talked about. Wow, he's more talked about now than when he was actually boxing. Like, to be fair, he's talked about all day, every day across the world.
I wouldn't agree with you there.
Man, he was no, Dean. Deontay Wilder is more talked about globally and consistently on a daily level more than he was when he'd have a fight, people would talk about it and it would move on. He wasn't big globally. He weren't big globally. If he was into boxing, people in India's talking about this, fam. People in India's talking about this. People in China's talking about this. I see it. I see on analytics. I see who's chiming into my Deontay Wilder show. There's people far across India. They're all looking, fam. They're like, right, this is wild. He didn't have that audience before. So you're not famous. You're infamous, and your legacy is dead.
But I would be disappointed if I never saw him in the ring with Dillian Whyte or Andrew Ruiz. I think they're great fights.
I feel that. Like you said, there's fights for him. I don't know. I hear what you're saying about the other things. He has tarnished his reputation, but I think there's still fights. Irrespective of the stuff, I feel like Fury, if Fury is a man of his word, which I don't know if he totally is because he said stuff and he regurgitates and goes back on, so I'm not too sure, but still a fan of his all the same. But and there's Joshua fight, there's the Dillian fight, there's the Povetkin fight. I feel there is still fights for Deontay Wilder. His legacy isn't fulfilled properly. He fought certain people and got to a position, but there's still guys that I feel like he should fight. There's guys like even Hunter, Charles Martin, Povetkin. There's a few people that
Charles Martin.
Anthony Joshua, all of them. I feel like these guys can go on and fight each other, and and build their legacy. Because look, back in the day, all the old school fighters used to fight each other repeated times. There was twos and threes. The Holyfield, Lennox series, and all these guys. But he is still a big draw. He is the bronze bomber who shakes his ass. So hey, he's just a wildcat. But people either want to see him smoke someone or get smoked. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like there's still a place for him. I won't throw him to the wolves just yet like that. But he is a weird cat. He's not my kind of dude. Like all that funny shit he does. And then all the excuses, because you know what? They say this is a sport of honor and integrity and so on. Obviously, a lot of guys, they come into this. It's either you're a man, you take your wounds, you lick your wounds with, and then cut you and then come back like your man said up there. Trill said, look, come back, go back in the gym, learn your thing properly. Even your coach who you was cussing was saying when you came in the gym, you never learned. You did no bag work, no jabbing, no bag work. He didn't want to listen. You know what I mean? He didn't want to go. Imagine back in the old days, them guys used to go in the bag for an hour and a half, 2 hours, bag work. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Get their conditioning, working their job, doing their thing on the bag. My man said he didn't want to do no jabbing, no bag work. He wanted to do what he wanted to do. And if people didn't listen, they could kiss their sorry asses goodbye and their little money, what they were making. And probably some people were fearful. So I think, I don't know. Look, like he said, he just needs to continue, learn his craft. I think that fight with Charles Martin would have been a good fight. I'm not even gonna lie. I think Charles Martin might have smoked him until he got caught with the
right.
But I think Charles Martin would have put some real pressure on him.
Well, everything you said, I agree with you. But at the end of the day, they are all these fights for him. But let's have it right. He ain't gonna take none of them, bruv. Like he fought Uber drivers, people that, no disrespect to Uber drivers, by the way, but I'm saying like people that weren't really in the professional game of boxing, and they came in, they got their pro license. He come in, sparked them out, and they probably went back to Uber the next day and did their shift. Like those are the types of fucking fighters that he's fought. So if that is what he's fought, then why do you think he's now going to take on Dill? We already know what he did with Dill and said to Dill. Why do we think he's going to take on Dill? Why do we think he's going to take on anyone like fucking Joe Jones?
Money in the Dillian Whyte fight.
Take on any of these? What?
I think there's money to be made fighting Dillian. I think
Yeah, it's not about.
Yeah, of course there's money.
No. It's not about money. I know there's money in most of the fights, but at the end of the day, what I'm saying is the man don't got no skills, and he ain't got no fucking pride, and he ain't a fucking real fucking champ, mate. If he wasn't fighting these people before, what makes you think he's gonna go and fight a top 10, top 15 boxer now? When? How? When? Why? Why are you not saying that now?
Hold on, bear with us. Hold on, give us a sec. You got to bear with us. The fact is, Dill's lost recently. So what it is he potentially is looking at it like, look, well, he has lost recently. I've lost recently. Do you know what? There might be a scalp for the taking. Some people like to look at weaknesses as opposed to anything else. And he might think, you know what, this is a great opportunity. Let's see how he performs in the rematch and so on. And, you know, he's looking at that kind of aspect. Look, he tried to take Tyson Fury after, a 2 or 3 year layoff, big old balloon self, and he thought he was catching him at the right time, and he got his ass spanked him in that draw. They gave him a draw. Listen, everyone knows when you get an away draw, coming from England or UK, whatever you want to call it, to America and getting a draw, you know your ass lost. You understand? That's a hometown decision you get in that draw. You understand? So for me, I look at it like he's looking at the possibility, like, yeah, do you know what? This is a possibility. Look, Dill got his ass knocked out. Let me see if I can fix this guy's business. You know, that kind of thing. But you're right. I'm not sure if his skill set is good enough, but you know, it's gonna be an amazing fight. People are gonna buy that, and it's gonna sell off. Trust me, like hotcakes. Boom, sell off.
Yeah, I know, but I just know he ain't fighting them top. What do you think, Trill? I don't think personally. Yeah,
no, I actually
fighting them, man.
I'm rocking with both of y'all actually, because what Dean said, there is, and there is a lot of fights out there for him. You know what I'm saying? There is a lot of fights out there for him that I think they'll make some lot of money. You know what I'm saying? The two brothers were saying there was like Povetkin and with Dillian Whyte and other fighters like that. People will want to see Wilder after this loss from Fury. People will want to see him. Now the question is, will he take these fights? You know, like I'm with you, ladies. Yes, like, because he turned down big money. I'm talking about, you know, generational wealth at one point. You know what I'm saying? So now it wasn't about the money the last time. So like, what's going to be this time? You know, like he probably going to want to fight somebody that's a little less dangerous than these guys that you mentioned, and a little dangerous than a Dillian, or less dangerous than a Povetkin. You know what I'm saying? These guys that can't put your lights out. I think he's going to go in there with one of those guys first. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But I do agree with y'all. There is money to be made. You know, is this a bag that he can get from fighting these other guys? Well, the big question is he going to take it?
Well, he already turned down Charles Martin. And Charles Martin, like Dean said, I reckon Charles Martin could fuck him up unless he gets
the game plan is out. The game plan is out. The game plan is out on Wilder. You already know. Come towards him. Come to him. Bring that smoke. He's not going to be up. That's the game plan. Everybody, he know he's food right now. He need to work on boxing. He needs to go back to the gym. You know what I'm saying? He needs to go back in the gym. He need to work on stuff, because everybody is waiting to get in there. Everybody's licking their chops now. You know, so I hope I hope he's back in the gym, because everybody's waiting for their shot on Wilder so they can do the Fury to him.
I don't know, because I mean, he doesn't even. Lennox Lewis had to teach him how to throw a correct jab, and you know, it's just he's 36. He's either 36 now, and then I think he's gonna be turning 37 at the end of this year. Like, to go back to the gym and learn some like boxing fundamentals at such an older age, I don't know. To me, pointless. But hey, if the fights happen, there are really big fights to happen. But I'm not getting my hopes up, because there's no point getting hopes up with pinning any type of hope to him. Like, you'd be a loser yourself. So let's not pin our hopes and tie our hopes to a loser. Like, that's not my vibe. That's not my energy. Like, I doubt he's going to be fighting, guys. Let's just have it right. But if he does, coolio, and good luck to you, Wilder. We are definitely moving on. What's the next topic? We're going to talk about Pac-Man in recess. Pac-Man strips, but he's in recess, but technically he's still strips. But so I did a little commentary about this. when I found out the news at X o'clock in the morning, our time, UK time, about Manny Pacquiao being stripped from the WBA belt. I'm a Pacquiao fan, but what's fair is fair. I have been saying prior to that happening that Pacquiao should be stripped. If he doesn't fight, you're holding up the division, my G. WBA, like you want to be doing exhibition fights or not, as we're told. But if you want to do all of these types of exhibition fights, like leave the belt now and let some like the younger cats or the other cats in the division like have the belt or fight for the belt. I mean, so Ugas was elevated to super champ. That sounds so funny when you say it, super champ. It just doesn't sound real, does it? Super champ, but it sounds like, yeah. Anyway, I digress. Sorry. Yeah, so he's been elevated to super champ. And what I was trying to tell, I was speaking. I think it was Tunde, and I was like, everyone seems to be like, oh, Ugas, oh, he's not that. Bro, he's good. He is good. I've watched Ugas fight. Like he's a tall, very tall as a welterweight. I remember when he fought Sean Porter, and he rocked him, mate. He rocked him a few times. Yeah, Sean Porter got the decision. To me, Ugas is a hard hitter. He can keep you at range because he's so tall and quite gangly. And he rocked Porter, and he could fight when Porter tried to come in on the inside. He gave him a few bangs, hence why the whole thing went to points. I think he done well, and I think it's for me to see him fight Errol Spence, because Spence obviously ducking Bud because he thinks, all right, let me fight Ugas because this is the easier fight. You know, when all of this type of mind frame gets introduced in the world of boxing, you know, like we've seen it with Deontay Wilder, you know, that Errol Spence, you thinking that that's the easier route for you to go. Like Deontay Wilder thought a banged up Tyson Fury was an easier route to go. Backlash will happen and you'll end up on your ass in the ring. And I love Errol Spence, but I'm just not rocking with the bullshit that he's on as well. So I'm excited to see if Ugas and Spence are actually going to fight, because otherwise, I don't know. Errol Spence is probably, like he said, he's going to leave the 147 division. And where did he say he's going? Did he go? Is he going 154 or 160? Where did he say he was going? He said he's going 154, 160. Errol.
154.
Did he say he's going 154? Yeah. So yeah. So anyway, so we'll talk about the Manny Pacquiao beat. What do you think about that? And what do you think about the whole situation, like with Ugas and possibly Spence and the whole scenario? Let's go with Trill Dollar Bills.
Okay. First with Manny Pacquiao. I think Manny Pacquiao can do what he want to do. That's Manny Pacquiao. You know what I'm saying? Manny Pacquiao is bigger than the belts. You know what I'm saying? They could whatever. It was like, Manny Pacquiao, you still the champion. You can keep the belt at your house.
Yeah.
We just gonna say Ugas is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Manny Pacquiao, he can do whatever. I don't care. Manny Pacquiao deserves to do whatever he wants in this sport. He
give the belt, then do whatever. Give that belt the belt.
He don't need the belt. He's bigger than the belt. So if they want to say he's champion in recess and want to come back and fight for that belt when he wants to, then that's what's up. That's Manny Pacquiao. He can do what he want to do. As far as Ugas getting the belt, it's cool. I think Ugas is the tough fighter. Like you said, that fight with Porter was a good fight. I actually thought I scored it for him. I actually thought he won that fight.
Me too.
You know what I'm saying? I thought he got robbed. You know what I'm saying? I thought he did enough to point Porter, but Porter got friends in high places.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Porter got friends in high places, man. He's able to rock them ugly suits and get on TV. So shout out to Porter. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Shout out to that man. He get to do his thing. But I like seeing the fighter, get that belt in the ring so he can cry in the ring with the belt. You know what I'm saying? Instead of being emailed the belt. You know what I mean? But
Haney.
Yeah, but other than that, shout out to Ugas. You know what I'm saying?
The email chat.
And as far as with Errol Spence, goes, I think Earl was looking at it like if he got the belt, you know what I'm saying? This is not an easy fight at all. I don't think Earl take anybody lightly. I don't heard him say it before. He trains like these guys is coming for everything, for life.
So fight Bud then.
Earl going to fight Ugaz is he's thinking that this is a quicker way where he can get to undisputed, where he can grab another belt.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think he's trying to look at it like, all right, cool. Budding them over there playing their games, and we're going back and forth.
But
that's still marinating. Why that's still
playing games?
Pardon me?
You think Bud's playing games?
I think both of them are. I think both guys are playing games. You know what I'm saying? They'll fight when they're ready. They'll fight when they're ready.
Well, in 10 years.
You
like a Khan and Kell Brook trying to get it happening now.
Well,
I don't want to see it in 10 years.
Hey, it might be one of those Mayweather-Pacquiao situations where people say the fight didn't happen when it was supposed to. But these guys are going to make it happen when it's going to happen. Right now, they trying to make sure the business is right. And I'm not even mad at them brothers for that because we've seen so many times, like I was just saying to I'm not mad at them making sure that the money is right. It's been so many times that we see our fighters. I love this sport so much. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna dog these brothers for trying to get their money right because I done seen so many fighters leave with nothing, die with nothing. You know what I'm saying? Shout outs to Pernell Whitaker, rest in peace. You know what I'm saying? All these great fighters. I got a chance to meet great fighters. I'm not gonna put their name out there and got a chance to shake their hands. I couldn't even have a conversation with them because I couldn't understand what they were saying.
I'm strong.
You know what I'm saying? And they wasn't able to be compensated well for being warriors. So there's no retirement fund for these warriors. They put it all on the line for us.
Yeah, well, they have to save some money to put in their little retirement fund. That's down to them. When you're self-employed, you got to set up a fund.
Yeah, but these fighters are taking care of their families. They're taking care of other people's families. You know what I'm saying? People, I'm not, checking their pockets, but just know that these guys is out here taking care of their communities and other stuff. I always see these young fighters giving back and doing all this stuff. At the end of the day, when they're not fighting, they still got to pay these bills and stuff goes on. Like these guys, I'm not mad at these guys for trying to negotiate something for them to have in the future because this sport is a lonely sport and it's a painful sport.
How much? Terrell is saying he doesn't mind a 60-40 split then or
60-40 is fair.
Or 70-30. I don't think 70-30.
Nah, I mean, either listen, 60-40 is fair, especially if this guy's about to get 3 belts. This guy's about to get 3 belts.
So how much do you think is worthwhile asking, considering we're in a pandemic and money's not really that like some, I don't know, I think you guys are in a bit of a better position because you guys can still charge gate money because you can have people coming into your venues where we're not really having that. So, I mean, is it to bear in mind that under current circumstances and conditions, that, your fee isn't going to be the top fee? Anthony Joshua took a lesser fee. Tyson Fury took a lesser fee. I think even Dillian took a lesser fee than he usually would. Like, everything's negotiable, but I mean, like, we want to see the fights, and it's commendable that they take care of their families and they take care of the community and stuff, and we get it, but you've got to bear in mind what's happening at this precise moment.
That's what I was saying, that this fight is not going to happen now, but it'll happen later. That's what I'm saying. They're doing this. We've seen this before. This is boxing. This has been going on since the beginning of times. We just seen this negotiating thing play out. Back in the 70s, they did it. In the 80s, they did it. This 90s, they did it. They just did it recently with Manny Pacquiao and Floyd. This is the same. This is the game. You know what I'm saying? This is the soap opera of boxing. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get everybody interested, everybody fired up, and then eventually they're gonna give you this fight, and it's not gonna probably live up to what we're saying, and everybody's gonna be disappointed. But we got what we wanted, but we didn't get it when we wanted it.
Yeah,
you know that's how this was going.
Wild! I'm dying to see Bud and Spence.
Yeah, I'm dying to see it, but I don't think we're gonna see it anytime soon.
Sure. Fight fair figures. Why do I always have to do the ODB bit afterwards? Nobody gets what I do. When introducing the ghost Praise killer. No good fucking nigga. Right, yeah. Right, sorry, I just use it for your name. Now. Go, Lee.
Yeah, this is just. I can't imagine what it was like before, but it's just a frustrating time as a fight fan because the fights aren't the boxers are in a position now where they don't have to take the fights unless the conditions are how they want them. You know, the money's got to be right, and even like Billy Joe Saunders with the Canelo fight, he was making sure the money's got to be right, and he wants the right notice as well. So and he was quite happy to like never have the fight if he wasn't given either of those two. And same thing with the Fury Joshua fight. That wasn't going to happen unless it was 50-50. If it wasn't through the Wilder fight blowing up with Fury, then he could then command it. But if that didn't happen, he couldn't command it. Who knows whether Joshua would have said to him, you can have the 50-50 that he wants. And it's the same, and that was the same noise Deontay Wilder was saying as well. He wants 50-50 for the fight. So it's like, unless everyone's happy with the conditions, there's a big chance that these fights won't happen. That's why you got a lot of hope with, I've got a little hope with Crawford and Spencer for stepping in the ring. Because are they ever going to be able to reach a middle ground for that to happen? And it will be a shame. But I've come to accept that this is how it is. And who am I to demand that they fight? Because I'm not taking the punches, you know, and I'm not doing the training camps for them. So
yeah, but we need to stop saying that like every minute. Oh, we're not taking the punches. Like, bruv, like see all the jobs that we do, yeah. Like we choose to do them, innit? So we can't go now being a boxer. Oh, you know what? I'm taking all these punches. We know you are taking all these punches. That is one of the criteria of being a boxer. Like, whatever job you're in, I'm not saying...
They're not duty bound to take the fights we want them to take, though. They're not duty bound. No,
but you're saying we're not the ones getting punched up in the ring and all of that. Yeah, well, bruv, then don't get punched up in the ring and stop being a boxer.
Yeah, we're not saying that. We're saying this. We're saying that these guys they're getting punched in the face, so they need to be compensated well. Being punched in the face. I think that's what Fight Figures is trying to say. We're not the ones. We can't tell these guys when to fight because we're not the ones getting punched in the face. They got to make sure that they're right. Their paycheck and their money's right before they go in there. We can't tell these guys what to do. That's what he's.
They've got to fight. I can't be weighing up every fucking pro and con and every ism and schism. Bruv, you're a boxer. I get it. There's certain things that have to be put in place. But at the end of the day, you're a boxer and you got to fight.
Mm-hmm. You got to fight. I get that. You got to fight. But you be well compensated when you fight. Make sure you're good. You know what I'm saying? Because this sport.
Yeah. Dean, what do you think about that? Manny Pacquiao in recess and Errol Spence and Ugas.
Well, listen, like he said, listen, you got to commend Manny Pacquiao. That man's an old-ass motherfucker. He's about to become some senator or whatever he's doing in his country. Yeah. And that man is business. That man is getting out beer money in his country. He's doing real business. He's doing real stuff with himself. He ain't out here. No offense to no one buying jewelry and cars and whatever. I'm not even trying to make no shade, but I mean, he doing real stuff in his community, in his country. He's trying to make a difference. It's crazy. You know, those kind of people who do that kind of thing, not to say Floyd probably does things in his own private way and whatever, but those kind of people in boxing only come along so often. The Manny Pacquiao, listen, for him to eat, I'm going to be honest with you, for him to even have beat Furman, which I thought he was going to get his ass smoked, my estimation of him went up even higher because I done thought that little dancing little guy was going to get his ass smacked up.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Punched up listen, trust me, I thought he was done. He punched up Furman and my head was like, huh? What is this? Witnessing. You know, like, and so when you look at his legacy, it's amazing. So I feel he deserves, because when someone's that kind of age, for them to recover, for them to go through training camp, it's a different process. I'm sure he's about my age or maybe a little bit younger than me or whatever. I can't remember. But trust me, them cooking, going through camp, I could imagine. So for him, you know what, he can do what he wants, and when he comes back, he shouldn't have to keep going through fighting contenders because they didn't beat him. He beat a man, he got a belt, and he needs to defend it when he wants and when he's ready. Plus, because he's doing the Senate thing, there's that in the way. Coming back to, who was the other one we were just talking about? What's the next one, sorry?
Ugas and Errol Spence.
Oh, Ugas. No, yeah, very, very, very good fighter. Very, very good fighter. I like his little style. Listen, I'm a big Spence fan. You know, I've actually been to, I think, A few. I went New York with Peters, Lamont Peters. I was in Texas against Mikey. I've been a few, and I think I was at one more somewhere. I can't remember, but I'm a big fan of Spence. He's a fellow Jamaican. Look, a yard man, American yard man. You get me? And yeah, and I'm friends with Derek James. You know, Derek James is he's a sound guy. Respect for him. He obviously won the Trainer of the Year, and I think rightly so. He's got the two boys there, unified champion. Listen, that fight with Bud, I'm a big fan of Bud as well. Cause I mess with Bud and his guys because we was down in Nebraska with them when Dill fought on that show. So I kind of chop it up with those boys. It's kind of mad that fight, but listen,
do you want to see the Bud and Spence fight?
He's a genius.
Yeah. Do you want to see it happen?
I think it will happen. Listen, it's made out of America. They just need to let me loose. They just need to let me loose. But what I will say is, like everyone's saying, we're in a pandemic. Whatever we think about this pandemic, the money isn't there right now because the gate needs to be there. And the first and foremost, I'm very sorry, these guys already put all the hard work in. So now it's the tail end of this is business. It's only business now. This is the tail end. This is, you know, that certain of them fights, they weren't getting paid pay-per-view money. They weren't getting paid certain money, percentages or whatever. Now they're at the tail end with the real business end where the real money and the chips are going down. They need to take their time and negotiate the right business, the right deal to get paid for, you know, future and so on. Like you said, you know, some guys come into this thing and leave with nothing. But at this time with COVID and everything that's going on, I don't think it should be rushed. These guys making these fights, I think they need to take their time. Things need to go back to normal, and they need to have a full capacity.
You can't wait.
Back up, and then these man fight. I feel like you know. I don't see none of these boys being scared or anything like that. You know, it's quite weird. I was with Bud at the Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder, who was in Vegas, but I was with Kell Brook as well. So I was doing some interviews, and they kind of bumped into each other. And you see, Bud's a little bad boy. He was kind of by his jacks, but they were nervous. But he's not. Listen, trust me, he ain't scared though. But he's a game little sucker. So for me, I feel like, you know, like your man said, sure, that this however long it takes. I'm not sure it's gonna take as long as Pacquiao Mayweather, because those guys were super mega stars. That's something totally different. The money what they were making and the money these guys are making, the percentage the agents were getting paid is probably what they're gonna get paid for their whole fight. You understand? It's totally different sheet, different cast, different ball game. So those two guys were probably like, I don't need you, sucker. I'm making my own sheet across this side of the street, and you over there, Buster. They probably just couldn't agree, because I know they came together a few times, Mayweather, Pacquiao, and it just didn't work out. And then they went their way. But I think these two, to get probably their biggest to date purse, them fighting each other for a number of belts, I think it's going to be tantalizing when it really does go down, and the fans are going to be well enjoyed, because you know, because around the world everyone's been locked up and things ain't been going according. When things do go back, people will appreciate everything, because no one in their right mind going back to say like November 2019, they would have ever foreseen. If I said that we would have gone down into a second year into lockdown, everything would be shut down, we'd never be able to go into arenas and this and travel, people probably wouldn't have believed it. So when all of this comes back around, people are going to embrace it, and it's just going to be amazing once it's all said and done, and they're in there, these boys are fighting.
I don't know if everyone's forgetting that we don't know when anything's going to go back to normal, and if we just like say maybe a couple of years, I like these guys are like 33, 34 already, 34. Like, so we're gonna see them fight at 36, 37.
Hey, listen, me and Pacquiao was 42.
Huh? Yeah, no. So, but all right, at least he's cemented like eight different weight cat champ, pound for pound. Like, he's solidified in that. Like, whether it's Pacquiao does a fight in 2 years and we know that Pacquiao's going to be 45, cool. We're not going to be like, oh, mate, you've waited this long to do this, and mate, he's done everything, yeah? But these two, Bud and Spence, Crawford and Spence, they're already in there near enough to their mid-30s, if I'm correct, or 33, 34, and 34, 35. How long? Like Spencer's already said that he's moving up to. I think one of the guys on here said 154 in the comments as well. So, do you think Spence is going to wait 2 years before he goes up another weight cap? Nah, mate. If that fight ain't happening this year or the first quarter of 2022, forget it. Spence is moving up, and that's done. Unless Crawford checkmates him and says, "Well, I'm moving up too, so there's no escaping me. I'm coming. Meet you at 154, bruv. Meet you there." Like, you get me? Unless that happens, then we may see it. But if Bud is going to stay in 147, we're not going to see the fight. These lot are not young, fam. They're not young like that. Point blank. Silence.
I don't have hope it's going to happen. I just don't.
I know the fight's going to happen. The fight's going to happen.
When?
It's going to happen. Like, I don't, and these guys are not afraid of each other. These guys is warriors.
So when
they just trying to make sure paper right. When the paper right,
all right, cool. So but
I think it's going to happen. I predicted that it was going to happen in 22.
Not anything later than the first quarter, though, or maybe the first half. Okay, cool.
I believe it's going to happen in 22. Both guys, you know, especially Bud need a fight. He need a fight. These guys, I don't. It's going to happen. I think the fight's going to happen. The fight's going to happen. It's just the business got to be taken care of. But the fight's eventually going to happen. They know the people want this fight. They can't duck each other. They know what it is. They got eyes. They see what's going on, you know. And Spencer's like, all right, why this is still going back and forth? Why not let me, you know, try to, you know, get another tough fight in there? Let me go in there and fight Ugas. And that's an easy fight that can be made because they both signed the PBC. So he's looking at why they trying to do that. Why not let me collect some more hardware over here? So when I get to him, it'll be easier to make him undisputed.
Undisputed, yeah. I guess that Bud could be the icing on the cake. That fight, Errol could look at it as, all right, once I've done.
And then he'll move on. And then he'll move on to 154. And then the other Charlo will move up to 160. The other Charlo will move up to 168.
Yeah, yeah. True. That's a good point, actually. That that he made Spence could leave Crawford to the end after he's cleaned up, taking the WBA belt off of Ugas and then onto Crawford as the last thing and then move up. That's a good point. Very good point. I'm just looking at it. Dean, can you just quickly answer this question for someone? It's from the last topic, but no worries. You know how we do. We don't really. Sorry, let me just find it. One loss and Shan wants him out. Some of the comments are jokes. No, it's not because Wilder's had one loss and I want him out, fam. I don't care if he's out and I don't care if he's in. Did you hear me? That's it. Here it is, Dean. So, how does Whyte beat Wilder, Dean?
You know what? If you go back and listen to Dillian's interview years ago, all Dillian kind of says is, Dillian says Wilder's a bully, and if you put him on the back foot, that's the way to beat him. And I've said that after the fight with Fury, I said it's quite weird because Dillian spoke about this, you know, many, many times before. Like, you know, him being on the front foot. And if you see the way he jabs, he kind of jumps in with that right hand. So you need to be on the back foot for him to kind of work. Like, you know, like your man Trill was saying, he needs to work on boxing skill. So, and that's what happened in that fight. As you saw, Fury put him on the back foot and pressed him. In the first fight, Wilder didn't let Fury come forward. He kept pressing him. He was on the back foot, boxing, moving across the ring. But I feel like, look, Dillian's path to success is obviously pressing him, going forward and going to the body. Look, if Tyson Fury can drop him with that body shot, trust me, them body shots still dishing out.
Yeah.
He's looking to lose all his appendix, liver, kidney, everything that's come out. So I just feel like, listen, It's not a foregone conclusion. It's not a foregone conclusion because look, you know, them man they can punch. So it's just about you're smart. But I can't see him he can't fight in the pocket. So I know he'd have a real tough fight in a close quarter fight if you pressed him and pressed him back and sat on his chest. And like your man, the blueprint is there now. You know, as much as Dillian mentioned it before that fight, the blueprint is actually there. Tyson Fury is not a noted puncher. Tyson Fury is not a noted puncher. Look what he done to your man. Putting it, you understand? It's mad, but give him credit though, because he took beer lick and he never really got down as such. You know, he got up and he's probably made a sterner stuff than I did feel that he was made of, if truth be told. Because I did think, you know, if you get licked down, he's due not to get back up. And he got up a couple of times and took his licks and you know, I mean, it was in there. So credit to him. You know?
I just think that shows us testament that I already know that, and like I've interviewed other boxers that have sparred with Fury, and they say in the grand scheme of things, he's not a hard puncher. He's not really a hard puncher. So you're right. That's why Deontay could get back up. So if Dill gave him some of them like liver shots, it'd be game over. It'd be off to the ER, mate. Pee and blood. I'm sure of it. That made me feel sick. When I said that, I just got the visual. That's horrible. All right. So next on the agenda, guys, is AJ and Tyson Fury. The fight seems to have been solidified. I saw a report yesterday that I think it's going to happen in May or June, and it's more or less more likely to happen in Saudi Arabia, which we don't mind because that's close to. I think they've done that because it's close to UK time. Bruv, I want to go there. Like if I want to go, I want to go and watch that fight. You know, I'm not even gonna lie. I'm waiting for them just to say a date, fam, like a definitive date, and I want to try and go to Saudi. But yeah, what do you guys think about A, where it's being held, possibly Saudi, B, the whole who's gonna win or who's not gonna win, and yeah, so Dean, we'll start with you, Dean, on that.
Saudi's not bad. Saudi, you know, we was in Saudi the last show. I think it was the rematch. Was it the rematch? It was the yeah. Saudi, they're very hospitable. The money is the main thing why they go to Saudi. You know what I mean? They're gonna put up that mega loot. But when you know, like, I feel like if we had things back, I feel like Wembley would have been better because, you know, the atmosphere, the singing, the fans, being able to drink and enjoy the actual show. Because in Saudi, I'm not gonna lie, the atmosphere wasn't the same. It wasn't the same. The atmosphere lacked that passion as a boxing arena. You know what I mean? It was quite dull. No, hell no. No, my friend, no.
Yeah.
The only time it livened up is when Khabib, when Khabib came, it livened up. You get me? Like the people, them, like, you know, there's a lot of Muslims. When he came, that it kind of livened up. But I mean, it was okay. But I mean, look, yeah, I don't know. It's not a hub for boxing. It's okay. It's business, and I get it. If I had to pay and go myself, not sure I'd go because
really?
I like drinking. I like drinking liquor, and I like it. You know, yeah, hell yeah. What do you mean? Yeah. I like yeah. Maybe a bit of understatement there. Maybe yeah. So I just, you know what I mean. I get busy regular. Like, you know, now this is taking into my liquor time. I'm already waiting. I'm salivating.
I know. After this, you want to get lit after this. I know. We're trying to I know.
Yeah. Trust me. Yeah. But yeah, back to that fight. I mean, listen. Everyone wants to see the fight. If you're a boxing fan, you want to see. I like both guys.
Yeah.
Obviously, when I look at the fight and you look at it and say,
yeah,
Fury's been boxing since he's 5. He's a pure boxer. I mean, his skill set's great. I'm not taking too much about the power element because he stopped.
Is his skill set really great though, Dean?
Yeah,
I swear to you, yeah. In my opinion,
listen. Let me. Hey, wait. Let me just stop you quickly. I'm gonna stop. Wait, you can come up with your opinion in 2 seconds. A man. Let me tell you something. I'm gonna be honest with you. A man who's 6'9", who's 6'9" or 6'10", whatever, shouldn't be able to move and box as he does. I'm just sorry. I'm just sorry. The man, he's a big old lummox, but the man is skillful. He's feint. How he moves, it's just crazy, man. Cause I haven't seen no big man move like that. And you know what I mean? His move, he's got his little jab, and he does it. You know what I mean? His skill set is very good. I can't even take nothing away from the man. The man, look, I feel there's ways to beat him. There's definitely ways to beat him. I feel, but he's such a big presence, and he knows how to use everything. He knows how to lean on people. He knows when to use his jab. He knows, you know, he's been around the block, man. He was with Emmanuel Stewart and them from early, and so the man has been around the block. He's a pikey that, you know, gypsy pikey that grew up on the car lot thing, wherever they live or wherever they fighting, having it, you know, having a fisticuffs.
Did you say the car lot?
And I just feel like he's got a lot of advantage on a lot of these. I think he's got a lot of advantage on these other guys. But saying that, coming back to the fight, I feel like, you know, the fight's going to be a great fight, and I'm going to go with well, it's a hard fight, 50-50, but I'd like Anthony Joshua to win. That's what I'm going to say.
AJ is the super underdog to this, and I can't wait when he bangs over Tyson and everybody shuts their mouth when AJ wins. I don't understand why. I don't understand why there's such a lot. It's like 80% of people are going with Tyson Fury to win and 20% for AJ. My mind's blown, fam. Because in my opinion, Tyson Fury has showed the least amount of evolution. Yeah, he's got good skill set, but has it evolved into anything better in the last 6 years? Javon is just only teaching him how to do a proper straight jab, because as we all know, he does that stupid flip jab. And for someone that's 6'9", yeah, he's got dexterity and he's agile. But boy, at the end of the day, that means nothing. If that means all right, it means nothing. But at the end of the day, if you have limited power for that height, do you think AJ is really not gonna bang him over with his 1-2? Like, I don't understand where people's minds are at. You've seen AJ evolve every single fight, and no C words want to give him any credit. Every fight you've seen Anthony Joshua fight, you've seen him get better. He's been fast-tracked into coming from a short amateur career, obviously golden Olympian, and fast-tracked. He's got 22 knockouts, Fury's got 21, but AJ's fought like 23 times, 23 fights, and I forget how much Fury's fought, 30 odds, top end of the 30s in his fight stats. So obviously AJ's knockout ratio is just wild and mad, and Fury's is way under the 50% knockout ratio percentage. So I don't get where everybody's going with. We saw, and from Ruiz 1 to Ruiz 2 to Pulev, we saw growth and evolution. We saw Anthony Joshua add to his skill set. I'm just calling it fair. Like, I haven't seen where Tyson's skill set has super developed. Like, what we saw him do with Deontay Wilder is with a lesser skilled by far opponent. I think that probably we're going to see something hopefully different in the Anthony Joshua fight, but I just feel that Fury's reached his peak and AJ's still climbing. His skill set's getting better and better, in my opinion. But hey, fight fans.
I think that Fury, I do think Fury will win, only because I think he's got more weight. Because I think he's got more ways of winning the fight, depending on what happens in the fight. He can switch it. He can go orthodox or southpaw. Yeah, I think he could go in more if he has to. I think, you know, I think he's underestimated up close. I think he can do that dirty fighting if he needs to.
Fury's underestimated. Are you not mad? Are you? What do you mean underestimated? Everyone bows down to him and gives him super duper props. I give props where it's due. Yeah, like you said, he can. The dude can box, innit? The dude can box, but is he super duper fantastic?
He
In my
performs
opinion,
on the big night.
not really. It's not super duper fantastic. I know lower like he's world elite, innit? I know world under the world or under the fucking people that's fought in Commonwealth titles that I get more enjoyment watching. The most enjoyment I've got watching a Tyson Fury fight was when it weren't with Klitschko. Probably with the Deontay Wilder thing because it was so fast paced and all of that. But I don't understand why. All right, Trill, how do you see this going? What is it for you?
I see you've been watching Boxing Bros, Lady Chann. I see you've been watching Boxing Bros. I
love your show.
It's how I look at it. You got the 1 and 2 guy, 2 and 1 guy. Whenever you want to flip it, however you want to flip it. You can say AJ's 1 and Fury's 2, or you can say Fury's 1 and AJ 2. I'm not gonna fight you on it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just like that. Now, let's talk about, because I love both fighters. And I could be objective, you know what I'm saying? Especially with the heavyweight division, you know, because I've been critical of the heavyweight division. But with these two guys, I think that we got it right. The fight, like Dean was saying, the fight in Saudi Arabia, that's for the bag. That's where the bag's at. You know, they try to get that oil bread. You know what I'm saying? That's what they try to get. So I salute that. But I would love to see that at Wembley, where everybody going crazy. Like I said on the show, I would love to see everybody go crazy. Sweet Caroline. Whoa, whoa, whoa. You know what I'm saying? I want to see people go crazy. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to be on my face. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to be on my face. You know? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to be heavy. 2 bottles. You know what I'm saying? Watching that fight, all the excitement. But I understand why they're going to Saudi Arabia. Now for the fight. Now let's just speak about Tyson Fury. I'll go with Tyson Fury first. Fight fan figures. He was saying everything is right. I totally agree with you. Everything on Tyson Fury. And Tyson Fury is a special fighter. You can't say that Tyson Fury is never learned, because this is what he does. Tyson Fury, he learned from, you know what I'm saying, the thing with Wilder, and he realized what he needed to do to get better. Deontay Wilder thought he was getting a cherry. That's why he picked him. This guy was sitting on the couch and that he wouldn't be ready. And he got and Tyson Fury won more rounds. He won more rounds.
Yeah.
But if you added it up with the knockdowns, it comes out to be a draw, right? So Tyson Fury got with a new team. He knew what he had to do. He got with some new people, got a new team. People was like he was wrong for that, but he did what he had to do. He knew what he had to do. Got a new team, came up with a better game plan, and we seen a better Tyson Fury in the rematch. The one thing that I have to disagree with you is that Tyson Fury, he's a thinker in there. Tyson Fury is a thinker. He sets things up. Not only is he this athletic big guy that we haven't seen in a while that can do all this moving around, he's also a big guy that can put his weight in the clutches and holding people down and putting that weight on people, draining them, hitting them with them cheap shots underneath. Those are going to count. And those are how he wins rounds. Tyson Fury may not be the most entertaining guy, you know what I'm saying, that's knocking all these guys out. But there's another guy who we consider the greatest of this era, Money Mayweather, who wasn't putting people on their butt. When he was younger, when he was
pretty boy, he was, but
when he became money, he wasn't. And he was still able to win. And it doesn't matter if you like Tyson Fury's style, or you think he's boring, or you think he's entertaining. At the end of the day, he's still winning. Now, you got this guy, Tyson Fury, you know what I'm saying, with his O, who's not afraid to let it go.
Yeah, he is.
He's not afraid to let it go.
Yeah, he is.
You know what I'm saying? That's why he's going in there with AJ.
Because that's AJ's retirement.
This guy, I'm giving him so much props. The reason why I'm gonna give Tyson Fury. Look, I'm gonna give Tyson Fury the respect that he deserves. This is a man. Hold on. I get it. I get it. This is like you have your pick. You have your pick. But let me just tell you about this man, Tyson Fury. Not only is he a winner in the ring, he's a winner outside the ring. This guy battled with depression, got his weight down, came in here to fight and to win the title. You got to give him respect for that. Not only did he do that, he also beat the great steel hammer, Klitschko, Waldemir, who I hold up there. I hold him up there. I hold up this great European champion. I hold him up there with Larry Holmes. And and he beat him. He beat the man. That was the man. You know? Now let's go to AJ. Now AJ, I was very critical of AJ. I said that he was bulky, and I said he was tight.
Did you? Yeah, robotic.
Yeah, like he was like a robot. I said that he needed to get in the pool. He needed to work on some things. Yeah. After the loss to Ruiz, I seen a different AJ. A guy who showed that he really loved the sport of boxing. He went back to the drawing boards, and he was doing things that I said that his performance against Ruiz was Muhammad Ali-ish. You know what I'm saying? That's the energy that I got from him.
Yeah, me too. Same vibe.
You got AJ, who is constantly learning. You know what I'm saying? He's every time you see him in there, you see him getting better and better and better. I think that AJ is a phenomenal athlete. I think he's a phenomenal champion. The way he holds himself, you know, with the no excuses, he's a great champion and a great role model for these kids. Not like the other champions. You know what I'm saying? They want to get out here and trash talk and all this crap. You know what I'm saying? He do his fighting in the ring. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to AJ, who I think is getting better. I think that this fight is going to be a tough fight. I don't see this no knockout fight or nothing. This might go 12 rounds. We might see 3 of these fights. You know what I'm saying? Because it might be.
Yeah, it might be a trilogy, obviously. Yeah.
It might be. This is not going to be no wash.
Listen, there's too much money in it, man. It has to be.
There.
I want to know, like,
they're going to do it in Saudi Arabia, and then they got to do it in the UK.
Yeah, they probably will.
I was mad actually. I was mad because I was like, UK, stand up. This is y'all. Y'all got this. You know what I'm saying? Y'all should be going crazy right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because y'all got the 1 and the 2 guy, 2 of the 1, whatever y'all want to say him. Tyson Fury, AJ, Tyson Fury, however you want to say it. You got these guys both going down, 1 face, 1 name, undisputed, heavyweight. It is going down. It's going down. I don't have a pick right now. I'm still assessing. You know what I'm saying? But I respect both guys, and I really think this is going to be a tough fight. Don't be surprised. It's going to be a real tough fight.
I say that fight is an equally tough fight, the toughest fight that either of those two are probably.
Because you got to look at it. If Tyson Fury comes out and he's blazing, he won't come forward. He won't put that weight on the AJ. You know what I'm saying? Try to hold away AJ down and tie to AJ because he wants to see if AJ can box around the ring. Now, if AJ's boxing around the ring by the middle rounds, he's gonna get a little tight. He want to put some weight on him. He's gonna. Tyson Fury is sneaky and he's good at stealing rounds, and that's what AJ has to be aware of. We know AJ got that pop, but he can't be looking for that big shot. He got to be sitting there trying to set up some things and move some things. So I hope right now that he's working with his team and some other people, some outsider people that can help him work because you know Tyson Fury is coming with a real game plan. You know what I'm saying?
No, you lot talk about
the uncle or the nephew of the greater man.
You lot talk about Tyson Fury like he's fucking invincible. It's wild to me.
No, he's a man. He's a man. He's a man.
I'm still waiting for you lot to tell me where he's evolved.
No, he's not invincible, but he's a man.
Okay,
right?
so where
he's a man and he's a champion. And he's a fighter.
How is he evolved?
All right, so who beat him?
No, he's undefeated, but how is he evolved? How is he evolved? He's fought, his resume, he's fought bums as well. I can count 3 top fighters on his resume. Sorry, he's never defended the title. He's never defended the title. Sorry. Like, I don't understand, like, why everyone's like putting on.
Let me interject. Hey, hold on, madam. Let me interject. You listen. You can't discredit the man. The man went to Germany and took the belts off of Vladimir Klitschko. The man went to Las Vegas and took the belt off the champion.
But he's not.
The hardest way possible on the road.
I'm not.
We gotta give respect where respect's due.
Listen, and there's no blueprint. There's no blueprint to beat. Look. There's no blueprint to beat him because he is undefeated. Until he is defeated, then we can say there are loopholes and people can suggest and think, but there is no blueprint because he is undefeated. So in this thing, because he is undefeated, people are saying, well,
I'm interjecting. I'm interjecting.
Hold on.
I don't care if I'm putting a straw. No. Everybody's spoken.
No, you said what you said. There's no point. You can't go over what you said.
No, I haven't said what I said.
So look, you spoke loads of stuff. Anthony Joshua, he's changed his fight. What it is with Anthony Joshua, he was a little bit more aggressive. Before, you see, when he lost to Ruiz, he was a little bit more gun-ho, and he would go out there and leave holes for himself to get countered. That's why he got himself smoked in that Ruiz fight. But then he went back to the drawing board and looked at how did Vladimir Klitschko become a champion and last so long. And the reason was because he didn't leave too much holes. So what he done is, now if you look at his style, he does a lot of long boxing, he moves well and stuff like that. The funny thing, after that fight, when we was in Saudi, I was with him and I was chatting to him and he said, oh, what do you think? How do you think the fight went? And I said, you know what? That's exactly how I felt you should box, but I didn't believe you was going to do it or was capable of doing it because you've never shown me that, because before you was a little bit robotic, like you said, a little bit stiff. I know he was an amateur and he could move well, but to move so good for 12 rounds, I was very surprised and impressed, and that's what I told him. So I know, going back into the Pulev fight, I was at the Pulev fight. He boxed, he stepped off, he held quite a lot in that thing. All of that resembles, the only thing he's doing different is the uppercuts. Klitschko maybe didn't throw so much uppercuts, but it all resembles, he's trying to be a long reigning champ, and the W and the bag is the most important thing out of everything. Him making it a fan favorite, if he can get them out, and then once he's got them hurt, he's a good closer. But at the minute, he just saying, listen, I'm going to box, I'm going to keep it, I'm going to do what I have to do.
AJ's a great finisher, though, as well. Even that, as well.
Listen.
And
but I'm saying, no one's disputing that. No, you got to listen. No one's disputing that. What I'm saying is, he's not taking any risk before.
No, I'm not listening because I haven't. No, I'm not listening. No, I'm not listening because I haven't heard you guys. Well, I'm on record saying that if these two fought 5 or 6 times, there would be a different result each and every time. Fury would win, AJ would win, Fury would win. So I'm not being
possibly. I think possibly.
I'm not being biased towards AJ because he's not my favorite fighter. If I'm going to be honest with you, AJ's not my favorite fighter. But at the end of the day, I haven't seen any one of you lot on this panel thus far switch it and say, how do you think that AJ could beat Fury? All I've heard is that Fury's the Iron Man, and because he's been undefeated, we don't know how he can be defeated.
That's because you was talking about
none of you not saying nothing. Sorry, I ain't.
Nah, you know why? I was when I was praising AJ, you was talking while I was
AJ's gonna win. What are you worried about?
It's not about praising. I want to hear how you said all of the attributes that Tyson Fury has that would fuck with AJ, and I agree. Like putting the lean on him, being sneaky, and all of that. I haven't heard you guys say.
I said that
how AJ beat Fury.
This is what we can only suggest because AJ has never been. I mean, because Tyson Fury has never been beaten. But I looked at it like this. I said that when I said where AJ is, that he's a guy that's going to get with his team and they're going to come up with a game plan. And AJ is the type of person that's going to follow this game plan. You know what I'm saying? If this is what he needs, if it comes to using the jab, he needs to stay off the ropes, use the jab and work. And see how you can box.
How much times have you seen AJ on the road?
He proved that he can box and
Right,
discipline box.
Trill. How many times have you seen AJ on the ropes? AJ's not technically a guy that hangs out on the ropes. So when have you seen him hang out on ropes?
That's why I was saying all he has to do is not get lazy, not fall into these traps. This because this is what Tyson Fury does. He sets traps. He will have him if he comes in with that energy when he had with Wilder and he pushes him forward and pushes him back while AJ's trying to box. Eventually, his back is going to touch the ropes. And then Tyson Fury will be able to do what he has to do. If they're in the center of the ring, he can't let Tyson Fury put his weight on. He got to keep some distance and fire and do that jab and fire that right uppercut. That's the thing he needs to do and keep him away. Even try to throw that left hook, but keep his hands right up. That's the things that AJ needs to do to beat a Tyson Fury. But can he do this? Like the things I was saying about Tyson Fury, where he could do to beat an AJ, but can he do it? We don't know until these gentlemen get in the ring.
Yeah, fight fans. Figures.
If you're asking me how AJ can beat him, I think it isn't impossible for him to beat him on points, but it would take him to, because Fury doesn't have the best chin. If you dropped him in 2 or 3 rounds, plus taking some other rounds, he could get it on points. But the more obvious way is by knockout. And I'm not saying that. Joshua isn't good. Like Joshua's a great fighter. I'm just saying it's a very close fight. But if you're asking me for who I think is going to win, I have to.
I'm not asking you who I think. Yeah, I know you guys think Fury's going to win, but like when I'm analyzing fighters, doesn't matter who I think is going to win. I can also see the opposition, how they could, with their skill set, how they could beat Fury, and exactly when it's to number 1 heavyweight and number 2 heavyweight. I feel that we should be able to look at it on both sides. I just feel that everybody says, "Oh, Fury can do this and do that and do that," and that's why he can beat AJ.
Yeah, AJ got a lot of things to worry about with Fury. His height, his weight. He got a lot of, because you know why they say this? Because people are not blind; they see it. He got a lot. AJ has a lot to deal with in the Tyson Fury with the size advantage, the height advantage. You know what I'm saying? This is a lot that AJ has to deal with in this fight. You know what I'm saying? So AJ's gonna got to be on his game plan, and I think he could win. AJ can win. You know what I'm saying? But so can Fury.
Yeah.
No, and right now I haven't sat back and did my analysis yet.
Me either.
I haven't sat back. I'm looking at this fight and I'm thinking that this is a really, really good fight. This is a pick'em fight. Nobody is wrong. I don't have nobody has a wrong or right answer with this one. This is the 1 and 2 guy, the 2, whatever you want to say. If you're going for AJ and you going for Fury, I can't combat that because both of these guys deserve the respect. You know what I'm saying? To me, that these guys is put in the work. They did what they were supposed to do, and they're making the fight happen. They didn't dodge each other. Fury didn't duck him. He didn't play, I'm over here at ESPN. I'm doing this, that, and the third. He didn't do the whole Wilder thing, make a guy wait or something. No, he tried to make this fight happen, and kudos to AJ. He made the fight happen, and these guys was fighting. So I got to respect both guys for making this fight happen. No delay, no time wasted. These guys are going to get it on. I got to respect.
You do realize that Fury wanted this fight to happen so quickly, and most definitely because he said AJ's his retirement fund. You know, we all know that AJ's a cash cow. Without AJ, a lot of things crumble around here, but I don't know if anybody wants to admit that. So I'm not really going to give props on Tyson Fury trying to make that fight happen. It's in his best interest to make that fight happen. And there was times where that fight could have probably happened before, but him and Deontay Wilder conspired to freeze AJ out for 2 years. So really, I'm not really patting no dude on the shoulder that's like that. The only reason why you're a snake. And AJ is the one that everybody's jealous of. So I'm not giving kudos that he made the fight happen. He needs that fight to happen. AJ was the one that allowed people, boxers like himself, to make so much money. As Tyson Fury doesn't fill stadiums and arenas. AJ does. Tyson Fury doesn't sell mad amounts on PPV. AJ does. So, like, I'm just a bit fed up of everybody just negating certain facts. And I just have to tell people, no, it's not that. Anyway, moving on swiftly. Canelo, this is what we're going to do. This to wrap up, slightly annoyed. Canelo obviously fighting Yildirim February 27th, and then on to BJS, Billy Joe Saunders. Canelo stating that he would like to fight 4 times for this year. Commendable, realistic, doubt it. But I mean, I was talking about this on the show that I find that fighters need to kind of go back to the old school, and it would be nice to see them defending on what weight cap. I think like heavyweights no more than 3 times in the year that they should fight because of, but lighter weight cats, I think, seeing them fight 3 times a year, 4 times a year would be a good thing to see. Like I said, we used to see Mike Tyson fight mad every month. Mike Tyson was on the TV fighting every month, and now these lot are just fighting once a year. It's mad. Then talking about ring rust, of course you rusty. You gotta keep going. But yeah. So what do you think about all of the Canelo, Dean? Canelo, Saúl, tú sabes. Vamos.
You know what? Canelo. Yeah. Canelo, man. He's for me, he's the pound for pound best at the minute. Obviously, I had Crawford right at the top before. But yeah, Canelo, man. That's a special kid. And I feel like, he's grown and shown maturity, and I just don't think there's no one that's going to beat him. He went in there with a sound guy in Smith. Smith's very good and sound, and he showed that because he managed to last the 12 rounds. Not a lot of people go the distance with Canelo. You know what I mean? And I don't know, man. That Yildirim, whatever that guy's name is going to get his bloody kidneys punched through his throat and out of his mouth. That's unless he's going to carry him just to get some rounds, but I think that fight's going to be over within between 1 and 4 or something, 1 and 6. If he lasts 6 rounds, that'd be weird. But I mean, listen, I don't know. But for me, look, I feel like him being the athlete, he's a super athlete. He's a super champ. Credit to him, man. If he wants to fight, man, he wants to go out there and do his thing. Listen, he's just trying to keep the bag, man. He getting paid some real money. You know what I'm saying? The man's not paid about. He getting big money, so he's looking to clean up. He's getting older, and there's not really much more I can say about Canelo. It is what it is.
What was I going to say? I'll touch on the point. I just hear all you guys. Nice one. Fight fan figures. Oh yeah, but you never talked about the BJS. Sorry, Dean. So where do you see with Billy Joe Saunders? When Caden was on this show the last time, Caden was cracking up at me because I'm just so not here for Billy Joe Saunders being predicted that he's the best opportunist to beat opponent to beat Canelo Alvarez. I just don't see it. What do you think?
Do you know what? I'm not gonna lie. I'm a fan of Billy. He's very skillful. He moves very well. He does his thing. But sometimes he's had quite a lot of off nights. And I'm gonna be honest with you. Canelo don't have no off nights. The man is not playing. Canelo don't really have no many off nights. Maybe when he fought Trout and a couple of them. Is it Trout? What's the one? No, Lara. I thought he lost that one with Lara. Southpaw and whatnot. Maybe that might be I think it's Billy Joe Saunders Southpaw as well.
Billy Joe Saunders is Southpaw, yeah.
Okay, but listen, I think he's Southpaw. Look, I think that gave him a lot of trouble with Lara. But look, I just feel like, listen, I can't see anything slowing Canelo down or stopping him. If anyone I thought was going to do a little bit better was going to be Smith. And he just got roughed up. He just got manhandled, and he took some blows and licking his rust. So I don't see anything changing, man. He took some rotted licks. So
yeah. Trill Dollar, what do you reckon with this Canelo and Yildirim and Billy Joe Saunders, and him saying that he wants to fight like 4 times through the year? Feasible or not?
Everybody know Canelo, my guy. The #1 pound for pound sport.
I didn't know that. Really?
You know what I'm saying? That's my guy. Saúl Canelo Alvarez. Viva Mexico.
Tú sabes.
Guy. I think if there's any somebody that's going to be a franchise champ, he should be the only one that's a franchise champ because he's doing it all. He's going up and down in weight, fighting all these champions, giving great entertainment. Like the brother said before, I think he's just trying to collect these bags because he's looking forward to retiring. You know what I'm saying? Soon. So him wanting to fight 4 times a year, kudos to that. Especially you brought up, Lady Shannon, you brought up the great Mike Tyson. You know why Mike was fighting so much? Because it was easy. He was knocking these guys out in the first round. You know what I'm saying? So we had to get him. It was like back in the days when they were doing a bum of the month club. You know what I'm saying? He was going there knocking these guys out. So
yeah, you're right. That's right.
So shout outs to Canelo. I feel like Canelo can do what he wanted to. He's one of those guys too. He already. Oh yeah, shout out to Rachel. I'm smiling in the inside. So it's like, you know, Canelo to me, he's bringing excitement to the sport, and he's making the most money in the sport right now. You know what I'm saying? Other than the AJ, you know what I'm saying? Those are the guys that's making. Those are the money makers.
Yeah, they're the cash house. Yeah.
So you know, and I heard something about Canelo saying that he didn't want to be in the sport for too long. He wanted to enjoy his family.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He wanted to enjoy his family. So I think this is what he's doing. He's trying to secure the bag. And I don't see nobody beating Canelo. I just don't see it. I just don't see nobody beating Canelo.
Not in that weight class.
I just don't see. They're gonna have to cheat him. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna have to put a really good, great big guy to beat him, because I don't see nobody messing with Canelo. That fight from Floyd, that loss from Floyd was the best training he could have ever got.
Yeah, that's what I
think happened. That was the best training he could have got.
Yeah,
was fighting Floyd, because after that he changed. Yeah. He changed dramatically. He changed the whole cut, catch and shoot thing. He changed dramatically.
Yeah,
the best thing he can ever do was to fight Floyd Money Mayweather. And now I don't see nobody. He got that loss for money. It don't even count. I don't even count that loss against Floyd.
He just went to school.
You know what I'm saying? That was foreign that he couldn't pay for.
He went to class. Yeah, he went to class that day. We're not going to count as a loss.
Yeah, that was class. I'm not even going to count that because he was in class. And ever since that class, Canelo Alvarez has been unstoppable. Even the Laura fight, I thought that was a tough fight for him. And when a lot of people said that he lost that fight, I think he itched it out by a round with the body shots. You know what I'm saying? Or it could have been a draw.
Well, what about the first Triple G fight?
You know what I'm saying? Even with the Triple G fight, I thought he pulled it out. I thought he boxed it. I like Triple G. I thought Triple G brought a lot to the sport, but I thought he was straight up and down, no special effects. You know what I'm saying? I really thought so. And I thought that this is where Canelo, he proved it. He went in there, and then he said that he ran. He went in there, he did a Floyd Mayweather that first fight, and everybody said he ran, right? And so he did what they asked him to do in the second fight, and they still complaining. He brought it to him that fight. The first fight he boxed. That wasn't good enough. You supposed to be Mexican. This is boxing. The art of getting hit without hit. That's boxing. Look it up in the Webster Dictionary. That is what boxing is. So he gave him a boxing lesson in the first fight. That wasn't good enough. They said he wanted to show some machismo. You know, they wanted to let him. So that's what he wanted to do. He went toe to toe with him, and he still won. So I don't even want to see a third fight. I think he proved what he needed to prove. Let's go on. There's other guys in that division. There's Billy Joe Saunders. You know what I'm saying? Like I was saying.
What do you think about that? What do you think about?
I like Billy Joe Saunders.
Do you feel that he could beat Canelo?
I like Billy Joe Saunders. I think he's very talented. I think he's one of those skilled boxers. I like skilled boxers. I don't care about the knockouts and stuff like that. I love the art of boxing. I love to look at their feet work and what they're doing and stuff like that. I don't care with the marvel, with all the. I don't care about the glitz and the glamour. I love talented boxers, and I like Billy Joe Saunders. I think he's a talented boxer. My problem with Billy Joe Saunders is every time there's a big fight or it's time for you to prove yourself, something happens. I don't know what it is. Something always happens. I'm not
some kind of gypsy curse.
Yeah, so I'm not. I hope that the battle of the gingers go down. That's what my brother Kaden called it, the battle of the gingers. You know what I'm saying? I hope that this goes down, and I hope Billy Joe Saunders doesn't do something for this fight not to happen. Like he slipped and twist his ankle or something, and the fight don't happen. I don't see him beating the Canelo. I don't see him beating the Canelo at all, but I see him giving a good effort. I see him doing better than Callum did.
Yeah.
I see him doing better than him, but I just don't see nobody beating Canelo. This guy, witness greatness right now. And I think that we all should give Canelo his flowers. That's my thing. I love to give boxers their flowers while they're still living. I see everybody want to run to these boxers when they pass and be like, oh, this is the greatest one. You know what I'm saying? Nah, I like to tell them that they're dope while they're living. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Canelo. I think that he's one of the greatest fighters still boxing right now, other than Manny Pacquiao.
But, yeah.
And,
but, I mean, he fought once at 175, right? Is that Kovalev? But
did he fight? What weight class did he fight Rocky at? Rocky Fielding.
I don't know
what middleweight.
160, right?
168. I thought that was 125. Oh yeah.
160. He did it at middle or middle.
Middleweight. 160.
It was 160 when he fought Rocky.
Yeah, 160. Check. Do the math. But what I'm saying is, okay, so yeah, at 168, I'm in agreement that, you know, he's just going to be undefeated. His undefeated reign is going to continue while in that weight class. Don't know if he went up. That's another story. But we're dealing with what's happening now. Now, Leon.
It was 168.
It's 168. So it was super middle.
Yeah, they fought at 168.
Okay.
Yeah. Canelo, he went in there. He fought everybody from Kovalev. That's 175. And that's the Crusher. You know what I'm saying? The Crusher's still the Crusher. You know, he probably wasn't the young Crusher, but the Crusher's still the Crusher. You know, and he beat my man Anthony in the fight before. You got to give Kovalev some props. Canelo is just, I think Canelo is great for the sport. You know what I'm saying? And Canelo can do what he want to do also. And I think he should be the only person that we consider the franchise champ because he's doing 160, 168, 175. So shout out to Canelo.
So why can't Manny Pacquiao qualify for that?
Manny Pacquiao, he's bigger than that. He's bigger than the franchise champ. He's the icon champ. You know what I'm saying? That's what Manny Pacquiao is. We got. I'm giving out belts now. I'm like the WBC. Everybody get a belt, right? You know what I'm saying? So
you get a belt. You get a belt.
Canelo's the franchise belt, and above that is the icon belt, and that's Manny Pacquiao. Because these guys done fought everybody. These guys got the resume. You look at their resumes. You look at Canelo's resume and Manny Pacquiao's resume.
Amazing.
It's stellar. Amazing. It's stellar. I don't even consider Manny Pacquiao in that conversation. Manny Pacquiao is still boxing, and I think to me, I wanted Manny Pacquiao to retire. I predicted that Manny Pacquiao would be the Keith Thurman because I thought there was a little extra something left in Pacquiao.
Yeah.
He dropped him, but people got to realize Thurman was coming back in that fight.
So
When Pacquiao left that arena, he wasn't looking too good. I didn't like the look on Manny Pacquiao's face. I didn't like his hands being like that. Like, he looked bad. He didn't look like the champ that won the fight. He took a lot of damage in that fight. People didn't even know, like, with the Broner fight, he had a torn retina in his eye. Like, this is Manny Pacquiao. You know what I'm saying? This is Manny Pacquiao. He's a legend. He's a fighter. You know what I'm saying? And then people got to realize that fight with Keith Thurman took a lot. That's why he had to wait so long. Yeah. That took a lot out of him. And when you get older, that recovery time is different. You know what I'm saying?
And Pacquiao's actually a small dude, like small frame dude. So like,
and you talk about Keith Thurman. This is a full-fledged welterweight.
Yeah, and he's a big welter.
You know what I'm saying? He was bigger than he was hitting Pacquiao with some. When I was sad. I didn't want to see Pacquiao fight nobody. That's why if you watch me on my show, I constantly say, let Pacquiao fight a Conor McGregor. Let him go out on his horse because I don't want to see one of those tails, because I didn't like how he looked after that. Fight. I was really concerned. I was sad for the great Manny Pacquiao. I thought even after that victory, I thought that he should have retired.
Yeah, and maybe not, but
it would have been great. It would have been great to retire that way.
Yeah,
you know but hey,
he's not another legendary fight. He said so.
He's an icon. A legend.
He's just an icon living, huh? Yeah, yeah. He's gonna have to get an icon belt. Fight five figures. But what I want to tie the question in with it is that this is how do you also guys see how Billy Joe Saunders can beat Canelo? And we're not going to go because he's never been beaten. That we don't know. Like I asked it for AJ, so it's only fair to ask it for in this instance. Dean, you've turned that way. You've turned vertical. He's paused. Go ahead, fight fans.
Yeah, I think that Billy Joe has everything he requires to produce his best performance. He wanted time. He's had a fight recently where he got some rounds in, so the ring rust would have gone, and he's back with Mark Tibbs. I think his camp will have a lot more discipline. I don't think there will be weight issues or anything like this, and I think this will be a fight that will force him to get up, train, be focused, because he knows what's in front of him. He will have to be perfect. I think if he does pull it off, it will be a huge shock. It will be a shock on the scale of what Fury done to Klitschko. But if there's somebody that can do it, I wouldn't be surprised if Billy Joe would just be that annoying to everybody and just be able to go there and produce a performance and pull it off and shock the world similar to the way Fury did. Well, I think it's happened. I don't think it will happen, but he's got everything in his face. Everything needed for those conditions to happen. He's finally got it. So all those mishaps and all those missed opportunities where he kept thinking his curtain is not going to get it, it all seems to have aligned to give him all the scenario now where he's got the best chance possible. I don't think he'll do it, but he's got the best chance possible, and we should see the best Billy Joe Saunders, because this is what he's been talking about, and this is his opportunity to show us.
Yeah, we should see it, but I mean, you know, like when you match skill set for skill set, I just don't see. I'm trying to figure out how Billy Joe Saunders could beat Canelo. Canelo's a great inside fighter. Canelo has
Southpaw could give him problems.
Yeah, Southpaw won't. I don't think Southpaw's going to give. I just need to think of his resume. How many Southpaws he's fought. I don't think that's going to pose that much as of a problem. He went to the school of Floyd, like I said. Floyd's my guy. So it's just like by default, yeah, you're not going to lose. You're not going to lose to no BJS. You're just not. I just don't know. He's got a granite chin. Billy Joe Saunders ain't amazing at in no knockouts. He ain't going to knock out definitely Saul. So I'm just literally, when it gets closer to the fight, I'm going to have to like literally try and look and see where there's a possible way of beating Canelo, but coming from Billy Joe Saunders. But as of now, I can't see it at all. Yeah. I think there's a 20% chance that Billy Joe Saunders, and that's me being nice, that he can beat Saul.
Yeah, Canelo is in the groove right now. He's in the zone.
Mm-hmm.
He's running through everybody, and like Fight Fan Figures would say, Billy Joe Saunders got all the tools. He got all the tools, but it's not going to be enough. Canelo's running through guys right now. You know what I'm saying? He's not playing. You know what I'm saying? He's coming forward. He's running through guys. He's making it look real easy.
Yeah,
making it real easy, and he's fighting 6 weeks later.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Wild.
Like he's not playing. He's not playing. I seen him after the Callum fight. He was back in the gym.
He looked perfect.
He was back in the gym. He took a day off and got back in the gym. He is not playing. He's in his groove right now.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So beware anybody that want to step in the ring with Canelo. Just know that he's in his bag right now. You know what I'm saying? He's not playing right now. You know what I mean?
And that is correct, because the same way that everything's good for Billy Joe Saunders, everything is also great for Canelo. He's out of his Golden Boy contract. He's got his own promotional company. He would have had his what we'll call tune-up fight against his mandatory. So he will be as fresh as can be, and So we will see the best Billy Joe versus the best Canelo. And in those scenarios, it's very hard to see Billy Joe pulling it off. But like I said, if someone's going to surprise you and just be that annoying to pull it off, it would be Billy Joe.
Upset of 2021, that would be wild.
Yeah, it'd be wild.
That would be wild.
That would be big. That would be
Billy Joe would
a big
love
upset. If Billy Joe can
he
beat
would love that.
Canelo, that would be huge. That would be huge. Because Canelo's he's on a warpath right now.
Yeah.
He's on a warpath right now. People want it. It's so bad, right? It's so bad for Canelo right now. They want him to fight guys. It's unrealistic that they want him to fight. You know what I'm saying?
Cruiserweights.
Yeah, they're crazy right now. That's how good Canelo is doing right now. You know what I'm saying? So I think Canelo runs through Billy Joe Saunders, but shout out to Billy Joe Saunders. I hope that he comes correct and gives a good effort for himself.
Sorry, my battery's on 3%, you know. I think it's over for you guys.
Yeah, you can dip out.
Mark me.
Yeah, no, I know. You could dip out. I'm going to close up in a bit, but you can dip out and we'll salute you.
You guys, man, continue. Lovely.
Take care, man.
Hey, listen, after this 2-hour interview, I got down a whole buckle. A whole buckle I read.
Love you.
Take care, man. Take care.
Already, much respect, man.
Yeah. Yeah. So basically, none of us have got a way of how
tricky southpaw. Tricky southpaw. Good movement. The fight of his life. I can't produce a blueprint. It's just I know that Canelo has struggled with a southpaw before, and Billy Joe is that tricky kind of fighter. It's unlikely, but then Fury Klitschko was unlikely.
Yeah. So that's where we at with that. That's so funny. I just looked at my phone and Floyd Mayweather just started a live video. He must have heard us all talking about him. That's wild, isn't it? I haven't really seen Floyd do many Instagram lives, I'll tell you that. Yeah. But could I just get you guys' opinion on who do you think the best 135 fighter is? Where are you at? Putting a sneaky, cheeky little topic in there, which is on the list. But who would you? We'll start with fight fans. Who do you think? Who's your favorite 135 fighter? Like
my favorite
right now.
Teofimo Lopez is my favorite. I like his trash talk. I like the fights he was taking in his what he classed his pretty boy stage. My only concern is that he's ready for his money stage. That we're not going to see the fights we want because he won't take the fights if the money's not exceptional. But to go in against Comey and then going against Loma, I like his dad being his trainer. His dad with the trash talk. I just find their interviews entertaining. The post-fight press conferences entertaining. I find the weigh-ins entertaining. It's the way
Instagram lives are entertaining.
It's just I'm a big fan of Garcia, big fan of Haney. I've got but Teofimo's I just prefer watching him, his fights, his conferences, just the whole package. And I respect what he's done. I respect the route he's taken. He's not done it the easy way. He's done it the difficult way. And I just really hope he's going to take the fights we want to see, because that division has potential to light up. The same way he can go up to 140 and light that division up as well, and just bring some real excitement and real attention.
Whoa. I don't know if he can light up 140. I don't know if he can light up 140.
When I say light it up, as in bring attention to it, bring some glamour, bring some more fight fans to the game. I'm not saying he can go out there and sting through everyone.
Yeah, that weight class is mad boring.
Make it interesting. Yeah, make it interesting.
140 is mad boring. Yeah, you can make it interesting. But yeah, I'm down with Trill Dollar.
Right now,
you're still smiling on the inside.
I'm still smiling on the inside. Right now, Lopez is my guy. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Lopez is my guy. I've been rocking with Haney's my man. I've been rocking with Haney before he even had a professional fight. I knew about this kid, Devin Haney. And I think he's a great talent. You know what I'm saying? But right now, the guy who got the impressive win, you know what I'm saying? The guy that I like, I'm favoring this kid. I think he's very entertaining. Also, I totally agree. 100% with everything you were saying, my brother. But He's my favorite right now at 135. I have to agree. Teofimo Lopez.
And me too. Definitely. I look forward to him moving up, but he's talking about moving up like at the end of
140. I mean, you said 140 is boring. I don't think so. You got Jose Ramirez and Josh Taylor about to get it on for undisputed.
Yeah, I know, but I mean that's the only what I would say are the stars of that weight cut.
Then you got Regis Progress trying to get a rematch with Josh Taylor because they got in and that was a beautiful fight.
I'm just thinking that once Lopez goes up to that weight cut, those boys, obviously most of them are obviously coming down, they're walking around weight and coming down, but they're going to be quite a lot bigger than Lopez. Lopez is built what he's built now. He's big for 135. So
I think he'll be perfect for a 140. I think he's big for 135. He'll be perfect for a 140. And I think his power will go up with him, especially with that.
It should do. It should do. But all I'm saying is that those boys are a lot still bigger than him at the minute. And 135, he can dominate 135 a lot easier than dominating 140. But I watched his live and I hit him on the live.
Shout out to him.
Yeah, shout out to him. Teofimo Lopez, and he said he really starves himself to get to 135. So
see, and that's I gotta commend him because, like you just said, that he could sit here and dominate these guys at 135, but he wants to be. So he's talking about moving up in weight. You know what I'm saying? And challenging himself. Like you said, the guys will be a little bit bigger than him, but he don't care. He's willing to challenge himself, and that's what you gotta admire about those kids.
Yeah,
that's what you admire about him.
Yeah, yeah. His mind frame of and how he respects the sport and how he's based on how he wants to be respected as a legacy and a legend like Mike. When it's all said and done, and I love his whole mantra. He did say he walks around at like 149, 150. So yeah, doing 140 is going to be easier for him to do 135, but I think he probably walks around maybe just a little bit more than that, in my opinion. Maybe just a little bit more. I'm more gearing that he walks around probably about 155, to be fair, like I reckon. But cool, yeah, he's gonna grow, and I just hope the power does transfer as he goes up. I don't see why it shouldn't. Devin Haney, just to throw the thing in, he's my least favorite 135 fighter, just to put it out there.
Why? What's he done?
I'm getting it now. I'm getting it now. Now I'm getting the vibe from you. I know the vibe now. What it is with you, lady. I get it. You don't like these. You don't like boring fighters. This is what you want. You in it for the excitement. I see you.
No, yeah, I do like this. I do like the excitement, but no, I do like Devin Haney. Technically wise,
he's technically sound. You gotta look.
Technically sound. This is what I'm saying. He's a boxer's boxer. Like he is, for his age, he is an amazing boxer with his skill set and what he adapts the whole sweet science mantra. I get it. I love it. But I just think that he doesn't take the fights that he should be taking. Everybody in his weight cut has proved. Tank, all right, I'll say Tank's proved to a certain degree. We know Tank likes to knock out the little featherweights, really, the 126 brothers. Like, let's just keep it real. But I mean, he still scored an amazing knockout against Santa Cruz, and then obviously we had the Teofimo Lopez and Vasily Lomachenko. Great stuff. Who else did we have in that? Okay, so Haney is the one that he needs to prove himself, I think, and I just don't understand what's the hold up. So I got the brakes on him at the minute until I see. I think they just announced that he's fighting someone, and Teofimo will be fighting Cambosos as his mandatory. That's not an easy fight, you know.
No, I totally agree with you. Devin needs and that's what I was hoping that he would do with the Gamboa. He needed that fight. These other guys are fighting the big fights and the great fights. Like, you know, Teofimo got Lomachenko under his belt, and he got Richie Comey under his belt. You know what I'm saying? He did that in stunning fashion. And then you got Ryan over here. This guy got everybody on YouTube, Instagram. going crazy, and you see what happened when he just did with Luke Campbell. And then you got Tank over here, and Tank going crazy. You see him knocking out everybody. He just did that to Leo Santa Cruz, and that was all over the place, right? And then you got the great Lomachenko. And a great Lomachenko was doing everything from Ramirez to Campbell to everybody. The only person that we can't say that needs it is Devin Haney. You know what I'm saying? Is Devin Haney. He needs an impressive. Well, he is impressive. The thing about with Devin is
he's a boxer.
He's a boxer's boxer, and I like Devin. I like all the technical things that he do in the ring. He's perfect. He doesn't get hit. Like people said that fight with Gamboa was boring. Yeah, it was a snooze fest, but you got to look at the sweet science behind it. The young man didn't get hit.
No, he didn't.
You know what I'm saying? And he picked apart this guy for 12 rounds. He didn't get hit. The problem is, I think he need to hit the weight room or something. He need to get into his man strength. He's not his man strength yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe hit the weight room, get in there something, and work on that. And
girlfriends and do stuff.
Yeah, like but Devin, as long as Devin keep winning, he gonna be all right. Devin keep winning.
Everybody's head. You guys, get out, get a girl, do stuff. I don't think like all the juices are flowing. It's just like, there's other things that you can do to get your man strength. You know.
He definitely needs to do that. But shout out to the guys. I love the lightweight division. The lightweight division is on fire.
It's litty, isn't it? It's super lit, isn't it? So and this is what I'm saying. So do you think that Lomachenko deserves a rematch? I don't.
Oh, you don't think so?
No.
Listen, if he wants to fight and the money is there, why not? Let him fight. He's the one that said he didn't want a rematch. But it's either way. I think it's up to Lopez.
Lopez said he's not doing it.
Yeah, well, then it's up to him. It's up to him.
He said, and I get it.
Let Lomachenko do his thing.
Yeah, Lomachenko he's announced for another fight as well. I forget who he's fighting. I just heard it yesterday. But I mean, the way that the arrogance of that how that contract was set up, I wouldn't give him a rematch. You didn't put a rematch clause in there because he thought that he was just going to mop up Lopez and didn't need the. And then he came out with, I like Loma. I predicted Loma to win. So I was shocked when I saw him just. Yeah,
I predicted Loma to win too.
Yeah, and then when I just saw him sleeping for the first 6 rounds.
I think he underestimated the kid.
Yeah.
We thought he was going to go in there, outbox him and outclass him. This kid had more power than he thought, and he was figure like, I'm going to wait him out. This kid's going to get tired. Yeah. And the kid never got tired. You know what I'm saying? It looked like he was fading in the later rounds, then he picked it back up.
Yeah, then he picked it back up. That's what happened to 23. Of course, he's going to have more energy than that. But, I mean, yeah, man, I just thought, I was gobsmacked about that. So when I saw all the aftermath of the stuff that Loma was pulling afterwards, I just thought, you're going into a bit of Deontay Wilder territory. Like, stop it. I want to stay respecting you. You get me? I like you're a great fighter.
They turned, you know what it was for me? They turned Lomachenko into a god, right? Mm-hmm. I think it was the ESPN, this is how the ESPN promotes. You know what I'm saying? And everybody gets messed up. Like he signed to Bob Arum, and people believe the hype. A lot of people start believing the hype. Even the fighters stop believing the hype. Like people got to realize why he was number one. People look at ESPN, look at their rankings. Lomachenko's number one. Why? Because Top Rank fights on ESPN.
Yeah.
They're gonna pick up and promote Top Rank because that's what they do business with.
Yeah.
So all the top ranked fighters are always going to be number one on ESPN. Mm-hmm. That's just how it's going to be.
That's how it goes. Yeah, the politics of
people get caught up in the perception and everything, and then you start forgetting. I seen one thing when I was watching the fight. They was like, "Oh, Lomachenko is undefeated. They totally washed Orlando Salinas beating him up. Like, people totally forgot about that. I've never seen somebody that lose a fight and they be like, oh, it didn't happen. They totally sponged it off and called him undefeated in the ring.
I know. The amount of smoke that's blown up Lomachenko's ass. I know he's been deemed as the golden child way too long, and then no credit is due to his other opponents. And but like I say, when things like this are done, like the backlash, it always comes back around, man. It always comes back around on you. So that's what we saw with the Lomachenko and Lopez fight. So I don't think he should give a rematch. What do you think, Lee?
He's not duty bound to give him anything, to be honest. If there was no clause in there, there was no clause in there. I'd like to see a rematch as a fight fan. I really would. I did expect just the energy I got from Teofimo and his dad in particular, and the way he blasted out Comey. I actually thought he could have knocked out Lomachenko, but I wasn't expecting to do it on points. Like that that just really shocked me. And I just think a rematch would be a great fight. But then I think Lomachenko-Haney is a great fight. I think there's so many great fights that can be made for Lomachenko. I don't think he's running out of options. He's
me either.
He's gonna have to move on from Lopez or earn himself a mandatory shot.
Well, this is it. Nakatani is who he's fighting. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's he's gonna have to wait, and Lopez is gonna make him wait, and I think Lopez is gonna make himself firmly the A side, and if Lomachenko wants it, it's gonna have to be on Lopez's terms.
Yeah, basically, point blank, period. Yeah, basically, and there was just a quick point that I was gonna say with that. It's just vaguely okay. Yeah, and obviously Lomachenko he can't go any further up in weight caps. Dude's already, what was he? He come from Feather, right?
Yeah.
So yeah,
120 something,
120 something, and then he's amazing at like 130, 135. Like, I think he should stay there. There's
that's the cap for him. 135 is the cap for him.
Yeah, that's the cap for him, right? And I heard people talking about, maybe you should go back to 130. Why? That you need to still push yourself. He's very capable of still dominating 135 or doing very well in 135.
You know what they need to do? They need to make that fight with Tank, Lomachenko and Tank. If he can't get a rematch with Teofimo, then he needs to go and fight a Tank. That's a guy that's small too, who's fighting at 130 and is fighting at 135 too. They both doing the same thing. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So I think that they should get it on. That would be a good fight. But will take the fight? But will Lomachenko take the fight? Because
maybe Loma would, but would Floyd have that? I don't know. It's all about Floyd.
You know, and it's all about Bob.
Yeah. With Bob to the island.
So that fight probably would never happen either. With their relationship, see what I'm saying? Is the business. The business is crazy. The business in Boston.
It's so frustrating though. Like, I know what you guys are saying, money, the bag has to be correct and all of that, man. But we just, as fight fans, man, we just want to see some fights, man. Do you know what I mean? It's just crazy. Like, the fights that should just be happening. And that's why I respect Mike Tyson. Like, when they go on hot boxing, forget promoters, forget everything. Mike is trying to make fights happen via FaceTime. It's wild. Via peer pressure, you know? So, I don't know. They all talked up a storm. I don't know where Garcia... I can't remember... Is Garcia got a fight coming up? No, he doesn't, does he? Because it was going to be Pacquiao, but that's so far been so we don't know where he's going. I'm not that excited. I'm not that right Pacquiao. I'm excited to see where he goes, but I'm not overly gassed like how everyone's so gassed up about him. Like,
I'm not gassed over it. I think that I don't know. I don't want to see that fight. I don't want to see Pacquiao.
Me neither.
And Ryan Garcia. But like I said before, Pacquiao can do whatever he wants. But I feel that, you know, it just depends on how bad Ryan gets beat up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This could be one of those teaching lessons like how Canelo learned from a Floyd, or this could be one of those damaging lessons that, you know, he can never come back from. You know what I'm saying? So we just gotta wait and see.
I'm not on it. Okay, just to read it. Yeah, Nakatani His only loss is to Teofimo over 12 rounds. All right, correct. So,
but hey, to credit to Fimo, he was going through a lot in that fight. You know what I'm saying? The situation that was going on with his family. He just married his girl, and his family wasn't there. They didn't approve, you know, and they didn't have him at the fight. It was heavy on him in that fight. But Nakatana, he's a good fighter. He just knocked out somebody in his last fight. That's what you should be saying. That Nakatana just knocked out Valero in his last fight. That's what y'all should be saying.
So that's who Loma is fighting next. So
he's a tall guy. He's a tall order. Yeah. We're gonna see what happens with this one.
Yeah, Loma can pick them apart, you know. So I'm not really that like I'm
definitely going Loma, but I just want to see how he looks in this fight.
Yeah, looks in there because look where he picked apart Luke Campbell. In my opinion, that was wild to watch. I was just like, give up, Luke, give up. But yeah. So, yeah. Anyway, guys, we have been on for 2 hours. So, we are going to wrap it up. Guys, I'm thanking everybody that's on the chat and have come through on the chat. And, Loma was getting his Wilder on. I know he really was. He really was, and it was bad to watch. I would like to thank the guest that's already gone. Dean, big up yourself. My Jenna. Dean Whyte was in the building. I would like to thank Whyte Figure. Thanks, Lee, as always. Amazing.
My pleasure. My absolute pleasure.
It's always amazing to have you on panel, Lee.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, it's been a minute since you've been on panel. I know. I have to take the down. I need days off, man. Like, bruv, this is why it's better to record longer shows, chop it up, and I get more days off. Let's talk about segment by segment. Boxing Bros, they do that as well. Just and chop it up.
We love it.
Yeah, and instead of just working every day to do a show, it's hard work. But Trill Dollar Bills, amazing to have you, brother.
Thank you for having me.
Amazing.
Thank you for having me. I'm glad that you had me. I just gotta shout out my bros. Shout out to my brother Kaden. Shout out to G. Shout out to Ned. Those are my boxing brothers. This is the Boxing Bros. You can hit us on Instagram. You can hit me on Instagram or Ray Trilogy at Instagram. And make sure you hit up all my brothers and hit up Boxing Bros at Boxing Bros USA. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you hit us up. You know what I'm saying? And check out our channel on YouTube. Much respect to Lady Chan. Much respect to Fight Fan Figures. Shout out to Dean Whyte. It was an honor. You know what I'm saying? I'm all the way over here. It was an honor locking in with you over there. I can't wait. I can't wait to come visit. I can't wait to come visit.
You need to come and hang, man.
London town, man. London town.
Fingers got me. As soon as I touch down, I know he got me. You know
London town, man. Of course.
You guys are our brothers from other mothers over there, man. Like, so taking the link and the connection with Caden. He's an amazing guy, just a lovely, lovely guy. You guys are all lovely. So,
we got nothing but love for you. Anything you need, you know, we rocking with you.
I know.
You know, we don't do this for many people. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna see me chatting with many other people. You know what I'm saying? We got much love and respect with you, and we rock with you like that. And you showed us nothing but love. So you know, we're going to reciprocate that love back. So
that means a lot to me. That does. Because I went from being a subscriber watching you guys, like, you know, no way thinking that we'd be personally chopping it up. So it's quite wild. And I respect that. And I love you guys' journey, man. You guys' channel is amazing. And your boxing knowledge. Every time I watch something of you guys, I learn more and more. I get schooled. I'm like, so big up the Boxing Bros, Ned, Conspiracy, that other guy, Complex.
That's our cousin Complex. And shout out to Complex too.
I'll shout you out, Complex, but you're gonna have to check yourself.
That's how you know. That's how you know it's Boxing Bros. You know what I'm saying? When we give you our unbiased opinion on the greatest sport ever, that's boxing. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not trying to be right. You know, like, we just sitting here kicking it. Like, I'm kicking it with you.
Yeah.
And we're talking about the sport that we love so much. And that's what it is. I'm not saying that I'm right 100% all the time. You know, it's times that I'm wrong. I'm only human. I'm just kicking it with y'all like we in the living room.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
We are. We're all in the living room. We're all together virtually.
Right.
Yeah, but I'll shout out Complex anyway. But Complex, get your mind right with this Deontay Wilder stuff, mate. Get your head out the clouds, love. Yeah? And
I'm going to let him know.
yeah, let him know. Hopefully he gets to watch this show.
Now, he's definitely going to watch it.
Is he going to watch it?
He's definitely going to watch it. That's our guy. That's our boxing cousin.
Okay, boxing cousin. You're my boxing cousin, Jace then, Complex. And yes, guys, we shall be, big up Sammy Ali, salute. We shall be ending it here. And I am going to say, hey, girl, it's Lady Chan, none less. Gone. Ra.
Take care, people.
Salute.